Katie, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are returning, then welcome back. Today I will be doing the bookshelf scavenger hunt tag, which was created by the Library of Sarah here on YouTube, and I'll link her original video down below if you want to go check that out. But basically what this tag is there are a number of prompts that you're supposed to find a book that matches, and then you go and you find it on your shelves. Now, my shelves are scattered all throughout my apartment. I have 4 of them. 2 of them are here behind me, and then the other ones are off somewhere else. So because they're not right here next to me where I'm filming, instead of me actually going on the scavenger hunt here on camera, I actually went through and I already did the scavenger hunt, and I'm going to be showing you the books that I picked for each clue. So I'm doing it a little bit differently than what it's supposed to be done, but oh well. The first thing on the list is to find an author or title who has the letter Z in the name. And for this one, I picked The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. And I'm pretty sure that most people that I've seen do this tag has picked this book. So I guess there's not really a lot of people who have Z in their name. The next thing on the list is to find a classic. And I only own maybe like 4 or 5 classics altogether. So for this, I went with The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And I have not read this book yet. I haven't read any of my classics yet, just because a lot of the times their writing is too flowery for me and I can't really get into them. So if you know of any good classics that are more standard writing kind of thing, let me know and I'll definitely look into them. The next clue is to find a book with a key on it, and I actually really had some problems with this one. I could not find a book that had a key on it. The first one that came to my mind was the book Sarah's Key, but of course that one doesn't actually have a key on it, it just has a key in the title. So I ended up finding Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell, and this one has a key here on the spine. The next is to find something on your shelves that is not a book, and as you can see behind me, I do have a lot of candles and things like that, props, stuff on my shelves. So for this one, the first thing that I grabbed was my little ceramic turtle that I got when I was in the Caribbean on a trip for my marine biology class. And it's just a nice little reminder of my trip that I had there. The next thing on the list is to find the oldest book on your shelf. So instead of going for the oldest book that was published on my shelves, I went for the one that I've owned the longest. And the first one that I could think of was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I've had this book since the 3rd grade, so this is definitely the book that I've had the longest. The next thing on the list is to find a book with a girl on the cover, and I immediately thought of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, as this entire series has Selena Sardothien on the cover. The next one is to find a book with animals in it, and for this one I decided to go with The Tiger and the Wolf by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And I'm so sorry if I butchered that last name. But basically this one has 2 warring tribes where one can shapeshift into tigers and the other one can shapeshift into wolves. The next one is to find a book with a male protagonist, and for this one I went with Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castell. This has a cast of characters that are all men who are kind of like, they're all main characters. I'm not sure if it follows different perspectives or anything like that, but it's kind of described as like a 3 Musketeers type book. The next thing is to find a book with only words on it, and the closest that I could come is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This does have stylized blinds on it because the woman in the window, but other than that it only has words on it. There's no pictures or anything like that, so I figured this would work for this challenge. Then the next one is to find a book with illustrations in it, and the first one that I could think of was The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. And this one does have some beautiful illustrations in it. Then the next clue is to find a book with gold lettering. And the first one that I saw is Half a King by Joe Abercrombie, and this one has gold lettering, and it also has a nice gold border on it as well. Then the next one is to find a diary, historical or fictional. For this one I don't actually own any books that are diaries. I don't own like the Diary of Anne Frank or anything like that. So I kind of stretched this a little bit, and I decided to go with A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan, because it says on the back that it's written in her own words, and so I'm just going to assume that it's kind of diary-like, but it's not an actual diary, so I am kind of stretching this one a little bit. The next one is to find a book written by someone with a common name, And for this one, I went with The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. To me, both Holly and Black are very common names, both first name and last name, so this is what I went with for this one. Then the next clue is to find a book with a close-up on it, and the only one that I could think of was The Witch's Daughter by Paula Braxton, and this one has kind of like a close-up of the boots of one of the witches on it. Next is to find a book that takes place in the earliest time period, and the one that I immediately thought of was Ivory and Bone by Julie Eschbaugh. This one takes place during the Ice Age, so this is definitely the earliest book that I have on my shelves. Next is to find a hardcover book without the dust jacket, and for this one I'm going to go with my copy of Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This one I just got in the mail, and I ordered it off of Amazon used, and of course it came in without the dust jacket. The next one is to find a teal or turquoise book, and the one that I saw first off was Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Nouvelle, because the spine of this one is teal turquoise, and it also has some teal and turquoise on the front here. And we only have 2 more to go, so the next one is to find a book with stars on it, and for this one I went with The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw, as this does have stars on both the dust jacket, and it also has stars on the naked hardback. And finally, the last one is to find a non-YA book, and I grabbed Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. So this is kind of like her memoir of her time on Gilmore Girls, so this one is definitely not YA, so that's what I chose for this one. That's it for this video. If you've done the bookshelf scavenger hunt, let me know. I would love to go and check yours out. And if you've read any of these books here, I would also love to know, and let me know what you thought about them. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!